This video is about Ohio legislative history. So what is legislative history? If you have already completed the Federal Legislative History module, you know that legislative history consists of documents generated during the legislative process. These documents may shed light on legislative intent. If a statute is ambiguous, legislative history can be used to argue that the legislature intended the statute to have a particular meaning. Courts may find legislative history persuasive, but not binding. You will generally find a lot more in the way of federal legislative history than Ohio legislative history. In Ohio, there is no requirement that the legislature retain legislative history documents. Similar to federal legislative history, it helps to understand the publication process of a statute. The publication process in Ohio is analogous to the federal process. A bill is introduced in the Ohio legislature. When it is passed, it becomes a session law. The official source for session law is the Print Laws of Ohio, which contains the session laws in chronological order. PDF copies of the Laws of Ohio are on Hide Online. Changes made to various Ohio Revised Code sections by the session law are incorporated into the Ohio Revised Code. For example, here we see that House Bill 130 amended Ohio Revised Code sections entitled 21, 29, 33, and enacted sections in Title 1 and 29. So House Bill 130 makes changes to Titles 21, 29, and 33 of the Ohio Revised Code. So what Ohio legislative history documents are generally useful and readily available? Bills are readily available. Additions and changes to bills can indicate intent to clarify the meaning of legislation. Acts, otherwise known as session laws, are also readily available. Session laws may contain language at the beginning or end of the act stating why the law was passed. This language may not appear in the Ohio Revised Code, so you have to look at the session law itself. Legislative Service Commission analysis, otherwise known as LSC analysis, is an explanation of the bill prepared by a research arm of the Ohio General Assembly. It may indicate the purpose of a law. Legislative Service Commission analysis is considered a secondary source, really as all legislative history is. A court may find Legislative Service Commission analysis persuasive. See the case Meeks versus Papadopoulos. Look at the library's Ohio Research Guide for more information about types of legislative history documents and how to find them. We didn't mention all the different types here, but you can look at the guide to see this. To get to the research guide, go to the library homepage and click on Research Guides. Then pick Ohio Law, Free Sources, then click on the Legislative History tab. You may want to look at the Ohio Legislative Materials chart. There's a link to it on the right here. The Ohio Legislative Materials chart indicates where to find various types of legislative history documents. So some major sources for finding Ohio legislative history that you should be aware of are the Ohio General Assembly's website. It has legislative history documents back to 1997. Hannah Capital Connection, a database available to you through the law library. It has legislative history going back to 1989, and it has some items that aren't available on the free web. Hide Online session laws go all the way back to the beginning of statehood. Older Legislative Service Commission analysis is available on microfilm starting in 1961. Our next video is going to be a demo of a legislative history problem.